Hi, my name is Justin Johnson. I'm the executive chef at the Hotel Metro in downtown Milwaukee. Today I'm going to be preparing our Deconstructed Caesar salad. It's one of our signature dishes on the menu, and it has arrived to this point through some development over the years. It first came to me when I was in culinary school, when I had the assignment to take a classic dish and sort of recreate it and repurpose it. The Caesar salad also just happens to be one of my favorite things to eat. When I came to the Hotel Metro, as much as I wanted to create a craft-oriented style restaurant, I knew that as a hotel there was going to be no way around having a Caesar salad on the menu. And so that's when I remembered this dish that I first came up with in culinary school. And really what it is it's all of the classic ingredients that you would expect in a Caesar salad, but it's just sort of repurposed and repackaged in an interesting sort of way that makes it apropos for the downtown Metro dining experience. So what we're going to start with is the dressing. Like I said, it's really just the classic ingredients. We have anchovies, we have garlic, fresh squeezed lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce, and some salt and pepper. Then we're going to poach an egg, actually. We're going to make a Caesar dressing with the egg separate. And the egg that we use is it's a cage-free egg that comes from JR's Country Acres in Lake Mills. We also use an all-natural organic sunflower oil that is made in Wisconsin, and a rough Queso Grand Cru Gruyere, and that's going to play the part of the Parmesan cheese. So first we're going to start by making the eggless Caesar dressing. We're going to start with 6 anchovy fillets, 10 cloves of peeled garlic, some freshly squeezed lemon juice, and that is about 2 tablespoons, a little Worcestershire, a teaspoon, some kosher salt and pepper, and now we're going to put on the top and just kind of start that blending before we add the oil. Now we're going to add this cup of Wisconsin sunflower oil. And right away you'll see it just start to emulsify. The tricky thing with this dressing is that because it's an eggless Caesar, we need to add something to help it to emulsify, because even though it's smooth and creamy now, as it sits, it's going to separate. So what we do is we add about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Now our Caesar dressing is ready, so we can set that aside. I'm going to get ready to plate here, and this is probably the most interesting thing about this dish, is that instead of chopping up the romaine lettuce and tossing it with the dressing, we actually serve what we like to call a romaine lettuce steak. So we just take a cross-section of romaine, like so, and we plate it in the center of the plate like that. One of the garnishes for the dish is a garlic oil toasted crostini. And we do that with a locally made organic country white bread that comes from Breadsmith. And so we're just going to cut up these little batons. We'll line them up on a tray and then drizzle them with a little garlic-infused oil. And this isn't something that you need to buy. It's very simple to make. You would just take some oil and steep it in about 3 or 4 cloves of crushed garlic, about 3 or 4 cloves per cup. You don't want to boil it. You don't want to fry the garlic. You just want to bring it up to temperature and draw out all that garlic moisture and flavor. We're going to throw those crostinis in the oven. And now, the star of the dish is the poached egg. What I have is some poaching water on the stove. To that, I add a tablespoon of cider vinegar. And the reason I do that is because it helps cook the egg. It helps to congeal the whites. Then I add a little bit of salt for flavor. A couple of things to know about poaching an egg. First of all, you don't want a rolling boil. The best way to do it is to bring your water to a boil, and once it gets to that rapid boil, you turn it down so that it calms down. Because otherwise, if the water is too hot, what's going to happen is when the egg white hits the water, it's just going to disintegrate, and it's not going to hold together. So we're just going to drop that egg in there and let it go. Here's our poached egg, and I like to pull out these outer whites. You really just want the yolk and the albumin around it, and you want it to have some give there. If this is completely hard, your yolk is cooked all the way through, and that really kind of defeats the whole purpose of the dish. So before we plate that, we're going to drizzle some of our homemade eggless Caesar dressing over the steak. I want to give a healthy amount because this is going to drizzle down in between all of the ribs of lettuce. Now we're going to go right on top with the egg. I'm not a huge spicy food fan, but just for color and a little kick, we're going to sprinkle just the tiniest amount of cayenne pepper on the very top of the egg. Here's that garlic oil infused toasted French bread crostini. And here's that Rothkäse Grand Cru. I just take a vegetable peeler and remove a couple of nice thin shavings. And that's going to go right on top. And then last but not least, we have here a tray of organic Sweetwater pea shoots. And these come from our aquaponics farm in Bayview. And these are beautifully fresh, very delicious. They're delivered to us in the tray, and so they don't actually come out of the dirt until they're going on the plate. And there you go. There is our deconstructed Caesar at the Metro Bar and Cafe.